Hi there, and then welcome to this brand new video. In this video, we're looking at forming algebraic expressions. In our previous video, we looked at what algebraic expressions are, and then the types, and then what constant variables, and then what have you are. This one, we are looking at how to form these algebraic expressions when given to us verbally or written in English. How do we convert it into mathematical expressions? Now, before we look into that, there are certain basic things we would have to know. Let's look into that briefly. Okay, so here are the things I would like us to know before we go into forming these algebraic expressions. The first term is what? Add. You all know what add means. So add is simply the operation plus. So the operational symbol of addition is what? Plus. So when you are told to add A to B, it simply means A plus B. All right. So that is it for add. Now, when we are told more than this second term here, more than. If you hear more than, it also means what? Addition. More than also means addition. So let's take an example and see. When you are told 5 more than x, 5 more than x, all they are saying is x plus 5. 5 more than x simply means x plus 5. What I try to do is I try to read it from the left. So 5 more than x. More than we are saying means addition. So you say 5 more than x. You see? So that is what this more than here means. Then on the other hand, we have what? Less than. So less than, if more than is addition, then less than will certainly be what? Subtraction. So 5 less than a number, any number at all. So 5 less than, you see, any number. The variable you use depends on you. Then the next one is product. Product simply means multiplication. Product means multiplication. This is product of. It means multiplication. If I want the product of A and then B, that is A times B. This is the product of A and B. Then the next one you would always need to know is what? Quotient. Quotient. When we talk of quotient, then it refers to division. Quotient refers to division. So the quotient of a number and 3. The quotient of a number and 3 simply means the number. So if I'm saying the quotient of x and 3 simply means x divided by 3. Take note that if you perform your long division and then you have your number you are dividing over here, and then the number you are using to divide, which we call the dividend, whatever you get up here is what we call your quotient. You see? It's what we call your quotient. So it is the same idea we want to translate into what? Algebraic expressions. After dividing this, the answer we will get is the word quotient. You see? So once again, the quotient of a number and 3 simply means the number divided by 3. Then the next thing we have to look at is twice. When we say twice of something, twice simply means you are doubling it. So if I have a variable y and I ask you to get me twice of y, I simply means multiply 2 by y. That is twice. Then half of simply means you are dividing whatever it is by 2. Half of simply means division by 2. Decreased by simply means subtraction. So if I say 5 decreased by a number, this is what we mean here. 5 decreased by a number. This is what we mean here. Then increased by will also mean what? Addition. Increased by will also mean addition. Then the difference. If you want the difference of x and then y, difference means subtraction. So x minus y simply means the difference of number x and then what? Y. We want their difference. That is subtraction. Then the sum of over here means addition. So the sum of two numbers becomes addition. So basically, these are the terms you need to know so you are able to what? Form algebraic expressions, form statements. Now it is important you have to identify the quantities in the statement. You see, so first of all, let's identify the quantities we have in the statement. And then secondly, you will have to assign variables to the unknown quantities you have in the statement. Assign variables to the unknowns. And then finally, you now translate. You now do what? Translate. So let's quickly look at some examples that we have to translate or form algebraic expressions from. So for this first example here, it says the sum of a number and 7. The sum of a number and 7. We said earlier on that sum means what? Addition. Sum means addition. So first of all, identify the variable. So we say let the number be your variable of choice. So let the number be, let's say, x. Now the sum of the number and y would then mean what? X plus 7. As simple as that. That is the sum of a number and then what? 7. All right. So this is our first one here. Let's take another example and see how we can what? Form the expression. Now this second one here says 5 more than twice a number. 5 more than twice a number. So first of all, let's identify what? Our variables. So we can once again say we let the number be any variable of your choice. So let the number be what? Y. So now that I've made my number Y, they said twice. 5 more than twice a number. So twice a number here, twice a number means we are doubling it. Twice a number means 2 times of it. So this over here is twice a number. That is twice of the number we have taken. But we want 5 more than it. So 5 more than. Remember we said more than means you are adding to it. So this here is 5 more than twice of a given number. Hope they're understanding. Okay, let's take another example. Okay, so let's look at this here. It says the product of a number and 6 increased by 2. The product of a number and 6 increased by 2. So we first let the number be a variable. So we let the number be z. Now the product of the number, product means what? Multiplication. So we are going to multiply the number by 6. That is 6z. This is the product of the number and then 6. And we are decreasing this number by 4. Decrease means we are subtracting. So decrease by 4. And this here becomes a product of a number decreased by what? 4. So it's very simple. First, identify your variable. You see, then what do? You assign a variable to it. So identify the quantities that is involved in the statement. Then you do what? You assign a variable to it. And then you do your translation. Let's look at one more, or let's look at some few examples again. This here says half of a number increased by 9. Half of a number increased by 9. So we let our number be any variable at all. This time I'm not going to write the half of a number, or let the number be. So half of a number, this is our number we have here. Half of it simply means we are dividing it by 2. Now this is half of the number. Let's now increase. Increase means addition. So let's now increase it by 9. You see, and this becomes our expression. You could also write it as half of a number. Half is this, then of a number. So half of a number, which we don't know, increased by what? 9. And you could also write it also as half of a number increased by 9. They are all the same and actually mean the same thing. So this one says the difference between 3 times a number and 5. The difference between 3 times a number and 5. At this point, I do hope you understand all that we have done. So you can pause and then try it out at the comment section. The difference between 3 times a number and then 5. So we first of all need a number. A number, let's say it's B. Then 3 times of B is 3 times B. That is 3 times of B. Now the difference between this and then 5. So its difference with 5. Right? So that is 3B minus 5. So this is how far this video is gonna go. I'll put some questions down so you try on your own to test your understanding. So here are some examples you can try on your own. The sum of a number and 12, they are all very, very simple. You can even try and then comment them out at the comment section. Now in our next video, you'll be looking at how to form algebraic expression from real life situations. You wouldn't always have the sum of a number and 12 and all that. This time around, we are looking at real life scenarios and then how we can form expressions from them. See you in our next video. Stay safe.